Okay, so I just want to go over the trades I took today and why I took them. So we'll start on the daily here. I just recently put on this indicator here just to show me the previous weekly high, previous daily high, and same for PDL and PWL. It's helped me. It helped me today. What I was looking for was sells because we had already taken out the previous daily low or previous daily high on Nasdaq this morning. Prior to me entering anything, prior to market opening, we had already swept the high. On top of that, ES had a slight SMT because you can see this low was taken, whereas Nasdaq no low was taken. But on Nasdaq we had these lows, so I was looking to target those as well, and then we had inverted this hourly fair value gap and created an hourly bearish fair value gap as well upon inverting. So we were inside both of those with equal lows underneath, having already taken the previous daily high and previous weekly high. On the 15 minute, you'll see we have this sweep. Right, it's hard to see with all this on here, but we have a nice sweep. Let me get rid of this. Of 15-minute highs within this hourly / 15-minute fair value gap / inversion fair value gap. I know I mentioned how like we have equal lows down here. That wasn't what I was aiming for. That's just a draw in my opinion, or at least I thought it was. I don't know anymore. Especially with SMT, we might not ever come back down for that, or for a while. But yeah, so sweep inside of the higher time frame PD arrays that I already mentioned. Let's drop down lower to see my entries. So this was my first entry, and this was very sketchy. This is a very sketchy entry. I don't think I'll be doing this again. I was lucky, honestly, to get out break even off of this trade. That's not to say I broke any rules. It's just I got in literally the 9:30 candle, opening candle was the candle that tapped my entry to trigger me into the trade. I don't love doing that, but we had everything I needed. I had the sweep, I had the higher time frame PD array, I had my direction that I wanted to see price going. We inverted 925 candle, inverted this 5-minute fair value gap. So that's when I was looking to get tapped to then fall from there. You can see we tapped it, crazy wick to the upside. Wasn't looking good for a second. Then came all the way back down here. Crazy candle to start the day. I took a partial here, then put my stop underneath this low, or a little bit lower, I think, to make myself break even essentially. And then it came up, tapped me here, and I was break even on this trade. I think it was up like $5 on this trade or whatever. So that was the first trade. Second trade. No, hang on. Second trade got stopped out on. I would take this 1,000 more times. Literally, it was just another sweep that it gave us. And this inversion was even nicer than the first one, in my opinion. On the 2-minute, this was the nicest inversion of the day that I took. And this is the one that stopped me out. But you can see we inverted that 2-minute candle. I got entered in off that inversion. We had reswept liquidity. It's not like we took anything low. We didn't take the low-hanging fruit yet, so we could still target it. And if we had taken this low and then came back up here, I wouldn't have had my entry. But we didn't take that, so I was good to enter. And then you see we got taken out. But again, that's a good loss. And then this was the final trade of the day. So we've had a break-even trade and we had a loss. So the only time you're going to see me take 3 trades in a day is if something like that happens. Because if I take the first trade and it wins, I'm done for the day. If I take the first trade and I lose, and then I lose the second trade, I'm done for the day. If I take the first trade, I lose, and I take the second trade and I win, I'm done for the day. So the only time you're ever going to see me take 3 trades in a day is if something like this happens today, where the first one was break even, the second one was a loss, and then I'm like, okay, I can take one more. And that's what happened today. Was it? Yeah, it was a 2-minute, right? It was a 2-minute right here. Invert that. We swept again, keeping these lows intact. Tapped us in, and then I had to sit through from 9:58 to 11:30, like an hour and a half of just sitting here and watching price do this. So that wasn't fun to sit and hold through, but I was willing to take another loss. I didn't risk too much. It would have stunk if I took another loss. It would have been a bad P&L day, but again, I followed all my rules, so it is what it is. And I took a partial. I think was it here? I think it was here or here. I think it might have been here, and then the last 2 contracts off here. It was in for 3 contracts, and that was the trade. So I ended up break even on the day. So a lot of activity just to end up break even, but at the end of the day, I'm happy with how I traded. I followed my model. It was a very choppy day. To come out break even on a day like this is impressive, in my opinion, just because it's the day before CPI, and this morning was just the price action was so shitty. We're starting to actually get some nice movement. I don't know how it looks on the lower time frame. Yeah, it looks good on the lower time frame, I guess. During the afternoon session, but the morning session was so bad. So happy to have come out break even. Happy with the way I traded. Let me just show the executions real fast on the fund or the Express account here. Give me a second. All right. So here's the Express account. You'll see first entry with that 5-minute fair value gap, then exited for 2 contracts, held one more to here, break even trade. The trade I got stopped out on, then a re-entry, and then held all the way until here and here. So those are the trades. Again, break even day. And yeah, so